52 seconds for 2 logos. That is f***ing inflation. What if we made a movie called How to Trim Your Logos? Comcast. I mean, when you called it The Hidden World, I thought that maybe it was a metaphor. I haven't seen this much fog and fire obscuring the action since I went to that Rammstein show we no longer talk about.
That's really just a nitwit who forgot to fireproof his butt.
Man, Kirk Cameron is going to be so pissed when he finds out how I fireproofed my butt.
But at least nobody else knows we're here.
The character is woefully unaware that the definitive statement they are making is contradicted by hilarious evidence that the audience can see cliché.
Look at this weirdo. Bet it's super dumb.
Yes, it is. It could easily fit through these cage bars and save itself.
Why can't I get this cage open?
It slides.
Obviously.
It does not slide. It opens on a hinge, just the way you thought it would. The problem is, it was locked, and the lock slides. This may seem like a minor difference, but hi, I'm Jeremy. Welcome to my CinemaSins. Also, I can get behind a story arc where a cluster of a raid party needs maturation, but I can't get behind bringing along a person who isn't able to comprehend the basic function of a cage door. What took these guys so long? We saw them 30 seconds ago, charging on the deck of the boat, and they only now came in for the attack?
Oh, stop worrying. They'll get it.
And I'm so sure that I'm totally willing to put their actual lives on the line, so I can sit here and just offer commentary. The one thing about the jumping to your death but your ship dragon is there waiting for you bit that I can't quite wrap my head around is when do they plan these maneuvers? Did Fishlegs really send his dragon off the edge of the ship a while ago, knowing this was how he would escape? What if the dragon had been 5 feet to the right?
This is Berk.
Okay, fine. It's not technically narration, but since he's referencing the narration from the first movie and saying it to a dragon, who as a species apparently are born understanding English, we're just gonna call it meta-narration and add the sin anyway, okay?
And the locals are as colorful as you get.
Me, look at this sensory overload. It's like the primary color paint can aisle blew its load on a birdhouse convention during a bug swarm. Let's be real. These people have to play Frogger on the backs of dragons to avoid walking waist deep in dragon. Also, maintaining a dragon population of this size must wallop Berk's economy to a degree that can only be ignored by the movies. The upkeep, the food supply, the space, and everything else must be a nightmare. Plus, at least 4 or 5 of these dragons have got to be jerks, right?
So, Hiccup's mom, any notes on my bone-crushing assault, or was it pretty much perfect?
The snot-lout hitting on Hiccup's mom storyline promises to be every bit as awkward and uncomfortable as the writers wanted it to be, while maintaining none of the humor they were hoping would be there as well. Also, I just remembered this character's name is Snotlout, and that's absolutely a sin on whoever named him. Did they name their other sons Spitclod and Lummox? I mean, at least 5 people and 2 dragons just died in that hilarious plot-forwarding domino effect accident, right? Can we at least check to see if everyone's okay or mourn the dead?
Food fight!
With hundreds of dragons circling the Berklands, meat would not be easy to come by. This chunk of meat would absolutely be a delicacy, and no one would dare chuck it across a table in a food fight.
God help us!
Taking Thor's name in vain!
If you need a beard to cry on, just lean on my shoulder and you can cry into my full, thick beard.
This TJ Miller impersonator needs a lesson on the location of the human shoulder, and to also stop using the words full and thick, like, immediately.
Eret, son of Eret!
I can't remember my own mother's name, and Hiccup can recognize Eret from a throat clearing? Bull. Or they're f***ing.
One day, you're gonna pick a fight you can't win.
This super supportive statement has no payoff. Hiccup, his crew, and the dragons survive every fight they start. Then the director said, let the character stand in the shadows with only his eyes lit so we know for sure he's evil. You know, since we ran out of apples.
A year since Drago's defeat.
Little did anyone know, How to Train Your Dragon 3 is a sequel to Rocky 4 and a prequel to Creed 2. The animators worked very hard to depict 1986 accurately. Can't wait until they show us how Drago thunder punched Chernobyl after a nuclear accident and saved the lives of millions.
The flock is protected by a night fury.
I know we're in Viking times here, but how the does Grimmel not know about the Night Fury? This dragon is within mere feet of Grimmel as he approaches, but suddenly way far back when the shot changes to the side view, and he is supremely confident that his knockout arrow will put this huge animal to sleep before it crashes into him.
It was the home of your grandparents, and their grandparents before them.
Your grandparents' parents lived in Iowa, but we don't talk about them.
Out there, beyond the sunset, lies the home of the dragons.
This flashback is sweet and all, but wouldn't Hiccup have remembered this conversation with his father during the first 2 movies? Wouldn't that have been major motivation for plot lines and decisions before the franchise wanted to wrap this up in a pretty low bow? They sure fixed all that damage the big-ass dragon caused earlier in f***ing no time, didn't they? Night Fury is a dick to maps. Dick Fury? 5 full minutes of dragon flirting. At this point, Grimmel can just take Toothless down if he wants. He can kidnap him and put him on an island and hunt him for sport, like The Most Dangerous Game, or that movie with Ice-T called Surviving the Game. But he doesn't do this for reasons unknown. This dragon meet cute is so wall-y that I'm half expecting Toothless to start showing her Hello Dolly, using a series of cave drawings any minute now.
Another Night Fury.
It's more like a bright,
A light fury.
Yeah, yours is better, probably.
Nope, they are exactly the same amount of okay. Personally, I would have just gone with Discount Eva. I swear this movie might as well have been titled National Geographic's How to Mate Your Dragon. Shadow licking. Hiccup finds a sleeping dart. He manages to locate a trap. Then he says...
He can't be that smart. He left his trap unmanned.
And then animated Jon Snow says...
Nothing's accidental when it comes to old Grimmel.
But this is never explained. It's almost like the movie was using this as a reason to explain who Grimmel was, despite Grimmel's actions making no sense. Also, setting aside that Grimmel doesn't seem like the kind of megalomaniac that would forget to pick up a dart, when did it even get here in the first place?
I know this handiwork. Grimmel the Grizzly. Famous back where I'm from.
So famous that every person there studied his dart designs for maximum plot convenience?
He lives for the hunt.
Movie justifies Grimmel's procrastination in killing Toothless by saying he lives for the hunt, which will in no way make this movie any more thrilling. Toothless is essentially a domesticated puppy dog, so trying to make hunting him exciting is just this movie's way of giving the protagonist a chance to win.
You have no idea who I am, do you?
No, but you're using a vaguely Transylvanian accent and appearing out of the darkness, so I'm gonna guess Dracula. Are you Dracula? Count Chocula then?
I am the Night Fury killer. I've hunted every last one but yours.
Is everyone just gonna keep pretending that the Light Fury isn't just a female Night Fury? What the hell kind of semantic games are we playing here?
Did we get him?
This kid's been pumped with enough sleepy poison to put a dragon to bed. How is he standing, let alone speaking a coherent thought? Also, even though the surprise of the double power twist is clever, it does leave me wondering how you knew the exact night he would be making this visit, and why you wouldn't use that foreknowledge to a better advantage, maybe involving traps and dragons and such.
This is Berk.
From here on out, Hiccup is now banned from saying "this is Berk" ever again. He's already said it 19 times in this movie alone, although I'm not good at counting, so it's probably more. You knew he was coming, but didn't have anyone scouting his dragons? That's like Dragon Warfare 101. Berk, where dragons and humans live in harmony, unless there's a midnight attack, in which case all human screams and evil dragon squawking fall on deaf ears.
It's the middle of the night! What are we doing here?
Pretty sure nobody would be wondering about why they were gathering at the old Viking town hall when they had to walk through a burning village in order to assemble.
I say Berk is wherever we go.
Huh, just like Asgard and Thor Ragnarok. Maybe this movie was being made before that movie came out, but it's fucking weird, especially with all the references to mythological Thor.
Gods! People who fly with babies are the worst!
Here's a completely inorganic airplane joke. The baby isn't doing anything annoying, the person flying with the baby isn't doing anything annoying. It's an airplane joke, for the sake of an airplane joke. Then the director said, "What's that? We do have an apple left? Well, let's have him eat it," just in case people weren't sure by the light thing that our villain is truly an asshole.
I introduced him to your female. Fury's mate for life, you see.
Right, but she's also free to stay, so I'm still shaky on how this is supposed to benefit you.
Yes, but where did they go? Explain this.
This is a perfectly valid question, so consider me exhausted of your exhausted of the shenanigans.
Therefore, they've gone. They can only have gone. Does anyone want to take a guess?
Grimmel tries to make people he knows are stupid guess the direction of Hiccup and the others for an infuriatingly long time.
Is there a problem here?
You mean that the movie has time for this completely uninteresting and unfunny side story? Yeah, I'd consider it a problem.
Number 2, because I'm clearly Volka's favorite.
This clueless and grating shtick from the Jonah Hill character and the faux TJ Miller character is so similar to each other that I can't tell them apart. Their characters are intensely unlikable. They aren't particularly good in battle, and I'm having a hard time figuring out the justification for them to exist. 5 full minutes of dragon flirting, the sequel. How to Roxanne your dragon. How does Hiccup know the Night Fury mating dance? This signals a much deeper relationship with Toothless than I would have imagined. Toothless, you say. Double dragon desire drags on as dorky dragon deftly draws demure dragon, drawing out dragon dating denouement and delaying dragon debauchery. Also, he drew a picture of her in the sand to impress her. What's next? Is he going to whip out his acoustic guitar and start singing Jason Mraz? Toothless can't fly without assistance, which is tantamount to being literally unable to get it up. And that means we have symbolic impotence in a kid's movie. And that isn't sinful in and of itself until your kid sees the scene and asks, where don't babies come from? 5 full minutes of dragon flirting, the goddamn trilogy.
One day you'll have to snip those apron strings and let Toothless stretch his wings.
I'm not sure it's exactly his wings that he's been stretching. I get that this is a family film and all, but I'm not the one that decided to make dragon f***ing a major plot point.
Chin up, Hickey. Puff out that chest. Move that butt to the left a little bit.
There may be more filler in this movie than actual movie. For someone wanting to be as stealthy as possible, you aren't doing yourself any favors lighting up a flame sword.
Why are you doing this?
I swear to Pete, if he starts spilling his backstory...
When I was a boy...
Gotcha!
Even in cartoons, when somebody grabs a person in midair with one hand without physics taking over and making them fall as well, it's a sin.
We left her behind?
How could you not notice she was missing?
You ride a two-headed dragon.
Astrid would be amazing at CinemaSins.
You gave him his freedom, Hiccup. What were you expecting?
He was expecting Toothless to obey his best bud. He did say,
Bring her home by sundown at the latest.
for Thor's sake.
That's all they have at that stupid new island.
Grimmel let Rough Nut drone on indefinitely and was clearly annoyed by it and wanted her to be quiet. But because this is a family movie, he didn't do anything to make it stop, and she babbled on about the island. Which, thank God, right? Because if he did normal bad guy stuff like torturing her, this movie probably couldn't have kept a PG rating. You can tell you're somewhere important and magical from the way the bioluminescence reacts to your presence. Thanks, Avatar.
Toothless.
You'll spook them.
Or maybe he'll alert a dragon horde to your fleshy human presence. The lack of concern for self-preservation is astonishing. So if this place has remained hidden from man, why would the happy couple be the only two Night Furies left? I get that they were hunted down out in the world at large, but none of them stuck around here? And if they aren't the only two, then why would Toothless automatically be king?
We should go.
Some completely disconnected asshole who's not part of the festivities sneaks up behind the two heroes and captures them, cliché.
Dad, are you gonna get us a new mom?
Skip! If capturing Toothless is this easy, there is no reason he couldn't have done it at the very beginning of the movie. Whatever the nonsense plan was about releasing the Light Fury had absolutely nothing to do with his ability to achieve his primary motivation to kill this dragon, which apparently was just this easy. Also, where did the gear come from? In those few seconds, are we to believe he hauled his ass undetected up the mountain with two perfectly fitting dragon harnesses? Also, if his motivation is to kill the Night Furies, why doesn't he just take care of that right now? Or maybe in the next 30 minutes of this movie's pointless climax. By the way, pointless climax is what I call
them off, Alpha! No reason for her to die, too.
Wasn't Toothless just shot with sleeping venom? I mean, I fake being asleep to avoid conversations with my wife too, but this isn't the time for that. I've never lived on a tall island in the middle of the ocean where my tribe is attempting to hide from dragon raiders, but if I did, I'm pretty sure I would have seen this fleet coming from far enough away that this whole surprise drop-in scenario wouldn't have worked at all.
He'll listen to you.
Should he though? Last night, Astrid opted to take Hiccup to find Toothless, rather than encourage his individual strength. And when they found Toothless, the very symbol of Hiccup's crippling self-doubt, she opts out of a "you're just as good as he is" pep talk and swings to an ego stabbing.
Now that's a king.
My point is, Astrid's an asshole. So they're all going to hang glide from this island to the fleet of ships down below? But what do they plan to do when they get there? The last time they were on one of these ships, they had dragons helping them out. Now they're just 6 people, only 1 or 2 of which are actual warriors, while the rest are comic relief. Toothless manages to roar loud enough instructions to this giant dragon while wearing a harness that keeps his mouth shut. That is amazing ventriloquism. Seriously, these fighters are going to take on a horde of, well, equally fighters and win. But this is a numbers game and they shouldn't win it. This dragon manages to headbutt Hiccup so far he's able to reach Grimmel's glider, which is lucky ass, but even more lucky ass is how he finds the one spot on this thing that isn't burning.
Let's just see who he follows.
If this miracle dragon mind control drug is this immediately effective, why wouldn't the first move just be to mind control the Alpha? So ships can burn. In their first battle, this fire magically died down and this explosion somehow avoided all flammable surfaces. Honestly, I just assumed Viking ships had some sort of special coating, but now I realize it was all bullshit plot convenience.
How are we gonna get him off her back without hurting her?
Orgy problems.
See that there?
Oh, cute.
You're cursed.
These hobgobblers have been a recurring mystery this entire movie. Is this their big payoff? Eating a ship Langolier style? Are we not going to have an explanation for why they duplicate? Why only some people can see them? And why they're considered a bad omen above any other destructive dragon? Come on, writers, you can do better than that. What if they only appeared to people who were about to die, and their final act is to spare them their worst fate? See? I just made your movie better, and I'm naked on a couch drinking yesterday's fermented sweet tea. Why does this lightning power throw these dragons off, but Hiccup is just fine? I'd say it might be his dragon scale armor, except I'm pretty sure that dragon scale armor is also found on, dragons. Hey man, even if you're both falling to your death, it's rude to touch people in their belt area. Oh, look at this convenient island crag that will now allow the Light Fury to save Toothless and quickly, while also being able to turn around and save Hiccup before he crashes to the ground. You gotta love them island crags. Easily removable garment, or in this case leg, that someone is holding on to is detached so that now they can no longer hold on, cliché.
You know, Eric may be blessed with brawn, but just between us, you have the brains.
Number 1.
Why would she say this? Nothing that has happened would suggest he did anything to deserve a kudo. There's no reason why he should get a kudo.
Go, Toothless. Go.
Damn it, this movie is all sorts of a mess, but this relationship is legit. Take your sin off while I go find a tissue, you bastard. Damn, this movie is taking a long time to end. I agree it's both sad and happy that Toothless is leaving and that he's gonna be the Hidden World's Lion King, but this ending is getting drawn out longer than The Lord of the Rings 3.
Crying to my full, thick beard.
For real, the fake TJ Miller character and the Jonah Hill character had basically 2 jokes spread out throughout the movie. Tough Nut is always bringing up his full beard, and he tells Berk he isn't marriage material. Snot Loud is always talking about being number 1, and has a thing for Hiccup's mom. Okay, so that's like 4 jokes.
Hey there, bud.
I brought my young children with me on this dangerous journey in hopes that you were still tame enough not to devour them. Also, good thing you and your entire family were hanging out up here by the waterfall for the day. Nice timing. Removing all the sins if Toothless burns down this boat and laughs. Child endangerment.
Legend says that when the ground quakes or lava spews from the earth, it's the dragons, letting us know they're still here.
Legend also says that it's plate tectonics.
I got a rash so bad on my ass, I can't even sit down.
What are you? I'm Batman.
Food fight!
Eve.
Don't underestimate him, Hiccup.
My father told me big men fall just as quick as little ones.
Has anyone in this family ever even seen a chicken?
You tried your best!
It's fine dining, we suggest. Be our guest, be our guest.